Hey guys, and welcome to the Lifting Love Podcast. You are awesome, and we're back. So, gonna get right into it. Ain't gonna be no like beat around the bush. Let's talk about moving. I guess for this episode, let's talk about pre-moving down, post-moving down. You know what I mean? Like the beginning.
Okay.
So I got the offer. We didn't really know what to expect. We drove down here,
Yeah.
and then they were like, "Well, this is the date you have to come down."
Yeah.
And on that way back, like, do you remember the drive back and the weeks to follow before I left? What was that like for you?
Um, it sucked.
Because it's like on one hand you're happy, but on the other hand you know you're not going to see me for almost two. It was almost close to 2 months.
Yeah. I thought for sure I was gonna cry when you left, when you said goodbye, but I didn't cry.
She
I
was
was
like,
like,
"Nah, get out of
yeah. I
here."
think also because I was going into work when you left, so it was like also a distraction. Like
hmm
I wasn't gonna sit there and dwell on the fact that you're leaving for 2 months.
Yeah,
Um, I think the hardest part about it was not like being away from you, like, yeah, that sucked. But I think the hardest part about it was like packing up my whole room. Like all of my memories,
yeah.
all of everything, my family, and like I packed up everything. Well, first of all, it took me a while to pack everything.
She's late. Hold on.
Like,
First, no. Let's stop you right there. She's lazy. She's a procrastinator. So like,
I
there's certain
am.
things that she's really good with, and she's like on point. But there's like those little things or little moments where she's like super lazy, and it's kind of cute. But
No, but I am super lazy. I hate doing anything that requires work. I really do. I like working. I'm okay. Like I can work. I've worked before, but like on my days off, when I am supposed to be doing nothing, I don't want to do anything. I
that's
don't want
true.
to
I
pack up
feel
my
that.
room. Like I just want to sit there and relax. Like so, um, that sucked. Yeah, packing up my whole room. First of all, I didn't realize how much shit I was gonna have.
Yo, that was like the craziest thing. Going in the closet, and you're like, "Holy shit, my closet's this big."
No, for real. Like I took pictures like along the way, and I had, I think like 8 black construction bags worth of garbage,
It's
like just
wild.
straight trash.
But it's not even like it's like garbage. It's like stuff you're just like throwing out because
But
you
like, why
don't
would
bring
I?
it down.
But why did I keep it? Like,
Yeah,
I always made fun of people for being a hoarder, but me, hello, number one hoarder here.
yeah.
Like, it
I
was so bad.
I
But
also think how long were you at that house? Because like you moved around a lot. Like for me, I had a lot of shit because I was there all 24 years of my life. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean. But you moved around. How long were you at
I
that
think you had
house?
less shit than me, and I was only at the house I think for like 10 years.
10 years. So I mean,
Yeah.
but still, like
Was it 10? I don't know. I think it's 10.
it's just still crazy. Do you remember like to backtrack before we go forward? Like so I remember very vividly, I remember the conversation I had with the Chiefs when I had the interview
Hmm.
and they gave me the offer. I mean, first of all, I cried like a baby, but that's besides the point.
You did
Do
cry.
you remember like what was going through your head like, oh fuck, like this is real?
I think, no, I didn't. Honestly, I wasn't like, oh fuck. I was like, okay. Like, I was so like, just let's do it. Like, I wasn't scared. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't sad. I was more happy at
Yeah.
the fact that, like, we finally got accepted somewhere. It was actually going to happen. Like, I've always wanted to move. I've always talked about moving. Um, Although I just felt like I would never move by myself. I,
hmm
I, I still stand on that. Like, I don't think I could have ever moved out of New York by myself. And
So
like,
like
I
if
feel
we
like,
weren't together, you would think you'd probably be there your whole life.
um, I mean, if we weren't together, it'd be someone different. And if they decided to move, I'd move. But like, if
Mm.
ultimately they were like, I want to stay in New York forever, I'd be like, all right, well, let's figure it out. Like, I'm fluid in the fact of doing things with someone else, and I think it builds on like the confidence thing.
Yeah.
I'm confident in myself. Like I know I could do it, but I don't want to do it. Like I don't want to be alone.
hmm
It's somewhere different. Like it'd be cool for maybe a month, but like my whole life.
Yeah, I think, and that was the one thing too. Like, obviously, we're making less in the academy because we're like recruits. We're not real firefighters yet. Um, so it was totally like I was like, damn, like I would not have been able to do it without you. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, like, Marty, let me stay there and help me out in that sense. Like, if I had to do that, like just saying, if I was by myself,
Mhm.
it'd be hard. But
I think
it wouldn't probably have happened, like you said. It probably wouldn't have happened.
you would have done it. You would
Yeah.
have been the person to go by yourself. You definitely
Oh,
would
for
have.
sure.
I don't
I
think
was
I
just
could
waiting for the
have.
opportunity. I
Yeah.
mean, I had two, three, four other things that I did. I mean, before we met, I went to Wilson.
Uh-huh.
I got told no. That was a terrible interview. But then more recently, I went to Wilson again.
Hmm.
Had probably the interview of my life.
If anyone needs interviewing tips, me.
Facts. We
I'm pretty
literally,
good at
yo,
it.
yo. Let me tell you this. So Wilson and the place that I'm at now. We're not going to say
We can
names.
make that a segment.
Wilson and the place I'm at now. We're not going to say names. But I gave the two best interviews of my life. Wilson said no, and the place that I'm at now, they said yes. And I don't think it sank in for me
Hmm.
until we came down here and we signed the apartment papers.
Yeah.
And Chief brought me around the station, and I met some of the guys. Like, that was when it was really like,
Real.
oh fuck,
I
this
was
is
so
happening.
excited when when we signed the apartment papers. I was just so excited. And like being here now. Okay, well first can we backtrack because I think the hardest part for me about you leaving was I was now back at home because I had lived with him.
So, and
Um
that was hard for you.
yeah, like I think I got so used to like just being with you
Yeah.
that it was like another transition and I hate transitions. I hate
Well,
change.
it was a huge jump for you to move with me because, for first off, your family was not the biggest fan of that. Like, moving in and
Oh yeah, for
living with
sure.
me, like, you know what I mean. And then
My dad wasn't. My mom
no,
didn't really care. My dad was like, my dad would call me if I was gone for like 3 days. Like, hello, you can check up on us every once in a while. Like, hello, the phone works both ways. Like, if this is you checking up on me, please be nicer. Thank
but
you.
so going back, how was that like for you? I mean, it kind of did it make you feel like you were a kid again? Like,
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, not like a kid again. Like, I feel like moving in with you. Like, I was finally away. Like, I was on my own. I was adult.
it was like
Like,
a refreshment. It's like
yeah,
refreshing.
yeah. And then I went home and I just felt like
Damn.
bored. Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, ugh. Like first of all, like my house is crazy all the time.
Oh my gosh. Let me just tell you this. If there is not hollering, screaming, or at least two to three kids running around, you wait. You're like,
Yeah,
what's going on?
yeah,
Like, there's if there's not an event or something,
yeah.
or if it's not school, if it's a weekend or like a holiday, I've I'm Puerto Rican Italian, and I've been in some very loud households. That takes the cake.
Yeah.
That it
Well,
is loud all the time. You got the kids in the living room. You got the parents screaming in the kitchen.
yeah. Well, my step family is Italian, so they're all pretty loud. I feel like I was such a quiet person,
Until
and then my stepmom and her family, they all came into my life, and I feel like I have to like up my volume for them to hear me, for them to like actually talk to me because they're just loud people, and like I don't
and,
care,
and they're
but
great people. We're not taking anything
yeah,
away
yeah,
from
yeah.
them. It's just in her house or her dad's house now. So loud
It is
all
super
the
loud.
time.
And I don't want to say my dad's house because it is my stepmom and my dad's house. But
We just refer to it that
yeah.
way.
But um
So moving
yeah,
back in,
it was definitely it was definitely crazy because I went from a transition out of a crazy household to a more calm, tranquil
so
environment.
my house was not calm. Well, it was compared to her step or her family's house
It was
was
calm.
super
The
calm.
only thing crazy about your house was
My mom.
not even like your mom was pretty chill. It was your aunt.
Yeah, I mean, I love my aunt, but she was super loud all the time. She came
Yeah,
in,
I think that was the only like crazy part that he had his aunt living there. But like other than that,
yeah.
it's fine.
So
It's totally different. So like going there, I like went to like more like laid back environment, and then like transitioning back, I'm like, ugh, chaos again.
well, and she's a huge day napper. She won't admit that. She loves her fucking naps. Anyway,
I
so
just like napping,
so
but
she's a big day napper. So she had a transition to go back to this chaotic house.
yeah, and like I just hated like it didn't feel like home at
Yeah.
that point. You know, like
Well,
I was like, my home is in North Carolina. Like my apartment is there. Like I want to
yeah,
just be there already. And it was like the longest 2 months ever. And then
yeah, and then at the end of it, you like so your aunt had to come move in because her apartment or her
I
house
mean,
that she was living in
yeah,
got
technically
sold.
my aunt pretty much lived there already. Her kids were there every single day. But
Yeah,
her,
but
yeah,
your step family is that close. Like they're very
hmm
close knit, and I love that. And I hope, I pray that
but
our family
it's
is that close one day.
yeah, it was definitely it's definitely crazy coming from a family who's
Completely like
yeah, like not really close at all,
like her
and
family is
then
like the other ends of magnets trying to go together,
and it doesn't work.
and it
Yeah,
just doesn't work.
but then my stepmom's family, like they're super
Like
close.
if two of them are together, the third one's either coming or working or something happened.
And
Like
it's so funny
it's so
because
weird.
there's three girls and they're super close, and I have a brother, and he lives like what
Are you
30?
talking about Anthony?
Yeah, he lives like what, like an hour away, 30 minutes,
Your
40 minutes.
family is within that family is at least within 30 minutes. There's no way they
But it's just
live
so
an
funny
hour away.
because like Gina and Jen are always there, and Anthony's just like, "Hi guys."
He comes for holidays,
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
he's there sometimes, but they're super close.
it's so nice to see that because my family for such a long time was so distant. Like,
Yeah.
and they've always really been. I mean, like my uncle Mikey, like is like the one uncle, and my grandma are like the two people in my family who are like we've always been like super close to.
Hmm.
But everybody else is just all my other uncles, all my other aunts. Like we don't even talk to some of my family. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it was for me watching that was such a thing because I was like, I love this shit. Like
Hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
But
definitely like dived in.
well, they also accepted me like right off the bat. You know, your
Yeah.
dad
Yeah.
was not the biggest fan of me.
No, he wasn't.
He was like, this guy's taking my little girl, blah
Yeah.
blah blah. But to get back on track, so that was for me was my realization like, oh shit, this. So now you had to when I moved in July, you moved back with your dad.
Hmm.
What were those 2 months like before? Because you she literally had a countdown. Like every day, every
I
morning, I
did.
got a text this many days. But you know
I
what's so
got.
funny about that is that you were off.
I know it was off, but technically it went by the hours, the
Yeah,
app that I got, so I wasn't
she was
off.
off by 12 hours, but it's fine. Nobody was counting. Nobody. You didn't get anybody excited. You didn't get anybody excited. Anyway,
Um,
so what was that like? Like especially like the build up towards oh fuck,
it was
I'm moving.
so long. I was super excited, and I made like this whole little checklist on my iPad about like everything we needed for the apartment, and I was super excited, and I couldn't wait to go.
The
And
checklist was fire, by the
you know
way.
what? My family was such a Debbie Downer about it. They were like, you're really that excited to leave?
You just want to
You
leave
made this
us?
whole checklist and you can't stop talking about leaving?" And like, I literally was like, obviously, fucking moving, guys. Like, this is a big step for me. I am 24, moving to my first apartment with my fiance. Like,
Facts. Oh yeah. Oh, so that's crazy because like so I engaged right before we engaged right before it.
we engaged.
We got engaged right before it. It was crazy because I had to get. We literally got engaged, packed my closet, I left. Like it was like the last
Yeah.
like 5 days of me living in New York were hectic.
Yeah.
We had like the going away party. I asked your dad for permission, and that
Hmm.
was like T minus 5 days until I left.
Yeah. And then we had like an engagement party at my house. We only have 28 seconds left.
Oh yeah. We're also meal prepping at the same time as we're doing this, but so it was like that. That whole week was crazy. I asked your dad for permission. We had at the going away party. So we had the going away party. I asked your dad. The next morning, me and my sister. Thanks to Brittany. I mean, she really kind of put the whole thing together.
Hmm.
Got some amazing pictures. Did
You
the
don't give your
engagement,
sister enough
and
credit.
then I don't, but I love you if you're watching this. I hope you're watching this. And then I'm packing my closet, and we're going to North Carolina. Hey
Yeah.
Google, stop.
Yeah. It was a lot of things happening at once. And, okay, I'll entertain you guys. Um, it was a lot of things happening at once. Like, it didn't stop. So we had the going away party. We got engaged. We had an engagement party. We packed him up. He left. And then I was alone. I wasn't alone, but like, obviously I had my family there and I was super excited about it. But it was super boring and it was super long, even though it was 2 months.
Set a timer for 17 and a half
And
minutes.
I was back in chaos. I was back in chaos,
Yeah,
and I felt long because I just wanted to be here. Like,
yeah.
going back to what I said before, like my home was now here,
Hmm.
like, and I wanted to share that experience with you. And I hated the fact that you got to live here for 2 months, and I was like behind the ball game. But the drive up here, I love the drive here and back, but I hate driving. and I like the scenery is really nice.
You like being the
And
passenger.
oh, for sure, passenger princess up in this bitch.
Even though she
But
naps, like she's sleeping half the time. Like it makes no sense. If we're not talking or she's not listening to music,
yeah, I do snooze anywhere.
look at that. She started already. She's about to go to sleep.
I do snooze. I snooze a lot. Anywhere I can rest my head for a second, I'll sleep.
So what was that drive like up? Like what was going through your head? Right, you leave New York and you're
I
out of New
didn't even
York.
have like a specific emotion. I was just excited,
You were more
happy.
excited to see me and come down here,
Yeah,
and than you were to leave.
yeah. I wasn't sad about leaving. And I feel like a lot of people would be like, "Well, why weren't you sad? Like you're moving away from your whole family." And I feel like it didn't really hit until like maybe a month in.
Facts. When it was quiet as fuck, and you
Yeah,
were just like, "Damn, I kind of miss it." you
yeah.
know.
And like you get like the sense of like loneliness, and it's not even like you like being here with you. I'm not lonely. Like
You're not alone.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I have you and I love it, but like there's no noise. And I
Yeah,
feel like
and it's
right now I'm
nice.
being too loud.
And it's nice though. I think that's like a huge thing though, because we both come from where like so like even with me, like yeah, it might not have been loud and chaotic, but there was always something going on. Like my aunt was
Hmm.
coming home from work, my mom was coming home from work, my mom left early for work. I had friends over. Like I went and saw people. I went and did things. Like you know what I mean. Like it was totally different.
You know what the thing that I miss about your house is his room had a window that like viewed outside
Oh
his
my god, the
backyard.
birds,
Oh my god, you'd wake up to like the birds on the little tree branches
cardinals,
outside.
and I
I
can't think of the other names of the
loved
birds,
that.
but crows and all kinds of birds were out that window.
Yeah, and I loved it so
What was that
much.
one bird you saw that one day? Was that a carpenter?
I don't know. I thought wasn't it blue?
Not a carpenter. No, cardinal? I don't know bird names, obviously.
The
Carpenter is probably
cardinals.
not a name of the bird.
A cardinal is the red
Cardinal. There you go.
bird. Blue jay is the blue
Blue
one.
jay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was blue, right? Blue jay.
Yeah, blue
Yeah,
jays.
yeah. It was
My
super nice.
grandma's house had blue jays on the electric pole. Anyway, getting off topic. But well,
But I think the drive down was super nice. My dad and my stepmom they drove separately,
and you
and
drove with
I
your brother,
drove
right?
my car with my brothers. That way they had transportation back home.
So cool thing about the day she moved down is actually the day that we were burning a house. So for the academy, they gave us two. They're called acquired structures. So they were burning these two houses down by the airport out here,
Hmm.
and because they're making like a strip mall or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, babe, I really want you to come see this. I really want you to come see this. So at this point, my cousin's also helping us move down, and we're gonna get into that in this podcast. This might be a long podcast.
So first of all, I rented a trailer.
Yeah, so we rented a trailer. We were gonna bring it down, and he was
Um,
we were gonna have it stay for. We extended it to 5 days for him, and then he was gonna bring it back.
well, stop skipping steps. So we rented a trailer, and originally we were only supposed to have it um for what Saturday to Monday.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be a quick trip. He was just gonna come for the weekend, kind of rest a little bit,
Well,
and then go back.
for it was supposed to be my dad bringing us down, and he was only staying Saturday to Sunday because I
Oh.
worked on Monday morning, and his truck ended up breaking down. They had to get a new one, so
No,
we had.
transmission, right? His transmission blew.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
He needed a new engine.
Ah.
He needed a new engine. It was an old truck, but I mean, it wasn't old. It was just used. Um, but so he was like,
Inco-
"Yeah, I really don't know how we're moving you down." And then
in comes my cousin Frankie.
yeah, so he had offered in the beginning when we were first talking about moving to North Carolina. He had offered it. He was like,
Hey, I want to help you guys.
he was like
I'll
in a
bring you down. Don't
heartbeat.
worry about it. Let me just stay with you guys for a couple days. I have some family out there.
No,
I'll see them anyway.
he didn't say that he would stay with us for a couple of days. He offered. He said, "Yeah, I'll do it in a heartbeat. We can make a vacation out of it. I'll bring the kids if they have off from school." Like,
Because his whole thing was, and I'm sorry to cut you off, his whole thing was he's trying to move out of here, or I don't know what's happening now, but he was basically going to use it as a time to see some
look at
houses,
houses.
see
Yeah.
some areas out here, which I was like, you know what? Cool. That'd be dope if you moved down because me and his son, who's my little cousin, are the closest out of everybody in my family. Um,
Their little daughter is so cute. I love
yeah,
her.
yeah. So he offered, and then we said no because her dad was like, "I'm moving you down." Da 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 da. Da. And then literally like the week before, his truck blew. Like literally, like that last week up until
It
when
was
when we
so
were moving down to
stressful.
when you moved down was crazy. So
I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever had to do in my life. Like,
So I
I hated it.
so I called my cousin and I basically explained to him the situation and I was like, "Does your offer still stand?" And he said, "Hell yeah! Like, when do I need to pick up the trailer? I'll help them put stuff away." Like at this point, he didn't ask for a single dollar. Like nothing
Well,
nothing was said.
first of all, I rented a trailer, and he was like, "Well, Saturday, Sunday is a little rough. I can't do that." And I'm plus I wanted to go see family. I wanted to look at houses, so I extended the trailer 5 days when I didn't have to. And I did. And then he asked for tolls, and at first, I was like, "No, tell him no." Like I extended the trailer 5 days. Like
Which
that's
ended
enough
up costing
money.
like an extra $200. Hundred. How much was it?
It was literally like $89 to rent it for those 2 days. It
No, I'm
was
pretty
like
sure it was.
three. It was
Yeah,
like
I'm pretty
three
sure it was
something.
three. I
It
was
was
gonna
like
say.
three something with insurance and whatever. I don't know because I was like I want insurance on it just in case something happens that we're not driving it. Like
Yeah.
I don't want something to happen and then get screwed over. And
So,
then he asked for tolls and I was like no, absolutely not. Like I already extended the trailer. Like that's enough. But then
but at this point, I was like, he didn't ask for money. Like,
But I was
you know
like, you know
what?
what?
Fuck it.
He is driving.
Yeah,
He is driving it. He's going out of his way. Like, tolls are going to cost more because you can't go on parkways or whatever because it's
it's technically
a commercial
commercial. Yeah.
vehicle, whatever.
So I was like, fuck it. We put him on the tolls.
Yep. And then he
So
comes down.
yeah. Let's get to that. So the day he comes down, the day they come down, they all came down at the same time. He got in a little bit before, I think a little bit before you guys, and caught a nap or something. Um, so I'm on my way to this burn that we're doing, and I fucking hit a curb,
Oh yeah.
completely destroy my tire,
Yeah, I was on the phone with him when it
and
happened.
I'm on the phone with her, and I literally remember it so clearly. And I wish I had a cool story to tell. Like I wish I was like, even not a cool story. It's kind of a stupid story, but like, oh my god, I was texting and I just like, you know what I mean. But like literally, I'm driving and I saw a sign and I was just like this, and I looked right back. All of a sudden, do 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 do, and I mean that minute it went from clean tire to like I was on my rim, so I had to pull over and I was like, fuck. And I got outside the car, complete my tire was completely destroyed. Luckily I was down the block from a Walmart and I called Brian at
Hmm.
the time. And I was like, yo, Brian, like I need you to come get me. Like this is one of the guys in my academy. And he was like, where are you at? And I was like, Walmart. And it was just like, I mean, like we barely got to the burn, but the end of the story is it was so stressful because so many of these things happen. So
Yeah, it was just
the
like one
car,
thing after
the yeah,
next.
the car ended up getting towed, and it was a whole big thing. But they come down, and I mean, if you want to take over from there, so
So
you
we,
guys,
we we actually went and saw his burn for a little bit. At first I was like so hesitant because I was like, I really don't know if we're gonna have time because we needed to be here at a certain time. Which, by the way, they didn't even walk us to the apartment or anything. They like remember how they were like, come get the keys and we'll do a walk through the apartment?
yeah,
They literally did not do that. They're like, here's your keys, go have fun.
dang,
And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, wait, I don't remember where the apartment is. And they gave me a piece of paper and it was wrong, by the way.
it was like
Um,
not updated, right?
yeah. So we were just wandering around for a little bit, and then we saw his burn, which was cool. We didn't stay the whole time, but we got here, we moved everything in. It was nicer than I originally thought it was going to be because at first I was like, I don't really like it, like not to be like bougie, but I was like, the cabinets aren't updated, like it's still all carpet, like I just didn't really like it for the amount that we were paying, and I like I don't really know. I don't really care about it so much anymore. Like we're here. I love it now. Shout out to my mom for decorating. Um yeah. Uh but then so my dad invited his cousin to breakfast and we went to Granny's kitchen or well, country kitchen or whatever and breakfast was good. Um But like also your cousin didn't offer to like pay for his way and like my dad was gonna pay for him anyways because he moved us down, he wanted to pay for his breakfast, figured it was the right thing to do. And then my dad was like, so are you getting a hotel? Like what are you doing? And he was like, no, I'm staying with them for a couple of days. And I literally got so mad because no one told me that he was staying with us for a couple of days. So, like, we couldn't even enjoy our first night in our apartment by
First, like
ourselves.
2, 3 nights. I stayed like three. I think you stayed
Yeah.
like a total of
And
three
I
nights.
don't care if he was going to stay with us. I
Yeah.
we'd be more than willing for him to stay there, but no one told me. No,
So
he was like, I asked Lenny, and Lenny said it was okay, and you never told me that he was
yeah,
staying with
that
us.
was my fault.
So I
So
got
so we paid his tolls. So for at first, no monetary thing, nothing monetary was ever discussed. He was just like, dude, I'll do it, not a problem. Like I want to go see places down there anyway.
yeah.
So he stayed with us for free. He ate. We fed him. Like you know what I mean. Like we fed him, and then what was the last thing? There was one more thing.
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, and we paid for his tolls. So like we paid for his tolls. He had a place to sleep, and he had all food to eat. Um. So anyway, continue. So you got we went
Um,
out to eat. Or this is the days when he's leaving. Your
yeah,
family
so
left on Sunday because they only stayed for a
yeah, so I didn't
quick.
really have like alone time with my family.
Yeah.
My stepmom, we went to the dollar store and we bought like the whole dollar store. We got like liners for the cabinets. We got a couple of like little things just to like set up the apartment for now because I didn't really come with the little things. I came with like the big things. Like I had a bed frame, a dresser, stuff like that, like TVs. So like I brought stuff from New York to like furnish our house. The only thing that we really needed was a couch and an entertainment center. Um, which the entertainment center we bought off Facebook Marketplace, and the couch my dad and my stepmom bought. Um,
Came up super clutch. I love this couch.
yeah, but so we moved everything in. I went through like a walkthrough of the apartment just to like see if anything were damaged. And like stuff that we wanted to document so if we moved out we'd get our deposit back. Um, so I mean like it wasn't bad having his cousin here. It was a little annoying because like I couldn't enjoy it with you our first week. And then his mom came out the end of the week, right? We only had like one
Well,
day alone.
no, they came the following week because we
Oh, we
moved.
went to New
Yeah,
York.
so
Okay,
so
so
we weren't supposed to go back. So
yeah.
here's what happened. So the day my cousin left, I woke up with him. He was like, "Hey, you mind coming and help me put the trailer around?" Cool, whatever. And I go out there help him. And as he gets into the car, he's like, "Do you have any money for me?" And I'm like, "I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have anything to my name right now because we just got this apartment. We got all these things we had to get
And not
to make it
only
livable." So I
did
was
his
like,
car break down,
yeah, and then my car broke down, so we also on top of that had to make sure we had a $500 insurance deductible, or my car wasn't going to get worked
I
on.
literally called my mom
So
in like a panic attack. I was crying. I hated it. I hated it. And my stepmom was like, don't let all this bullshit like make you hate moving. And I was like, I should just fucking stayed in New York. Like, I just hate it. Like the first day of moving down here, I
no, it
legitimately,
was the first week. That
yeah,
week was hell.
like I legitimately hated every second of it. And I was like, at that point, I was super excited and it just like tore my excitement apart. I like didn't want to be here. I was just over it. I was excited to see you obviously, but I was like, let's just go back to New York.
Yeah. So he's like, "Do you have any money for me?" And I was like, "Obviously, you know what happened." And I explained everything again, because like my car broke down, I have to pay this, and that. And I wasn't making excuses, but I was like, "I got $20 in my wallet right now that you can have, to help get you back home or whatever you need." And he was
Yeah.
like, "No, it's fine."
But we were paying for his tolls on the way back.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, I had class that day. That's why I woke up early. And all of
Well,
a sudden,
before that, Len had come into me and he was like, I think he's mad at me. And I'm like, why? And he was like, because I didn't have any gas money to give him. And I'm like, well, we were paying for his tolls. His tolls were like over $100 coming here.
because he had the
And
trailer, so it would cost more.
yeah, and then it would be the same amount going back. And plus, like, he offered. So it's like, if you offer something, don't expect something in return
Yeah.
to benefit you. Like, I would never, if I offered to move someone down here, I wouldn't be like, okay, where's my toll money? Where's my gas money? I would just do it because I offered.
Oh, let me stay with you. Oh, what are we eating? But the first text I see, excuse me, was from him saying, "Hey, my car is giving me a little trouble. I'm gonna stop at a mechanic shop." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like I texted him back like, "Hey, just like let me know what's going on." And then I put my phone down. So now fast forward, it's like 11 12 o'clock. My phone's completely blown up. he texted me a couple times saying, "Hey, I had to leave the trailer." She's calling me, blowing me up, like, "Hey, take him off the Easy Pass." Like, he literally ditched our trailer, and at this point, I had no fucking idea what was going on.
So
No clue.
he had,
So, go ahead.
yeah, he had texted me. He was like, hey, my car is. I don't even remember what he said. He was just like, my truck is breaking down. I have to stop and like try and get it fixed. I don't know how I'm gonna get home. I might have to leave your trailer. Da da da. And I'm like, okay, well, um, don't leave our trailer. um, but let me know what happens. Like, I don't know.
And
And
you
then
stopped communicating. Like,
so he texted me a place that he left the trailer, and he texted me the place that he was getting his car fixed. So at that point, I called your mom, and I was freaking out. I was hysterical crying because everything was going wrong. Um, and he had lied to us because the place that he apparently went to get his car fixed was a mobile mechanic. So he doesn't have an actual shop. He goes to people and fixes their cars. And his mom had called them and
now,
was
one thing
like,
my mom does,
is
she's an
investigate.
investigate. So she called not only the U-Haul place. Stop. Sorry, our Google timer. Not only did she call the U-Haul place, she called the dealership with the make and model of his truck.
Not the dealership,
I mean,
the
not the
mobile
dealership, the mobile
mechanic.
mechanic with his make and model. She's gonna explain the rest of the story because explain the rest of the story because I have to go take the chicken out.
Um, so she called the mobile mechanic and was like, "Hey, did so and so come in with this type of truck?" And they're like, "No, not at all. Plus, we're a mobile mechanic. Like, we don't have an actual shop where people bring their cars in. Um, they just like we go to them." And she was like, "Okay, thank you, whatever." And they actually made friends. They exchanged numbers and was like, "Listen, if you or your son ever need help and you're in North Carolina, just give me a call and I'll go to you and fix your car or whatever." And then she had called the storage place that he left our trailer at, which was like a storage slash U-Haul place. And they were like, "Yeah, someone dumped the trailer. We didn't know who dumped it. We were gonna call the cops because a lot of people have been dumping trailers and not paying for the trailers." And she was like, "Thank God I called you." So she was like, "Yeah, like what happened?" So she explained that his mom explained the story to the girl at the storage place, and she's like, "Well, whatever we could do to help you, like just let me know." And then in order for so they kept the trailer there for a little bit until we can get something to drive it back to New York. So we ended up having to rent a box truck because U-Haul didn't have any more pickup trucks for us to rent. So we had to rent, what was it, a 4x4? You mean the box truck. The box truck was a 14-foot. Oh, a 14-foot box truck to pick up the trailer to drive it all the way back to New York to drop it off because it was a one-way trailer. Two-way, was it? I don't know how to explain that. We had to drop the trailer off because it was less expensive than doing a one-way and dropping it off here in North Carolina. It would have cost way more money because they like lose out on a trailer, so like they're losing equipment, so they basically charge you for that equipment, which was super expensive. So I was like, yeah, absolutely not.
So on
So,
top of this, to backtrack, before he came out here, he asked my grandma for money.
oh
My
yeah,
grandma gave him money. Then, on top of this, at this point I had no money. So instead of it costing us $90 to get the trailer out here
yeah.
and some tolls,
Mhm.
it ended up costing us over $1,000. And I had to call my grandma, and she was able to put it on her card. Thank God for grandma. So basically, moral of the story is he
Dumped
scammed
our
us,
trailer.
dumped our trailer, and then proceeded to act like act like
The
the
victim.
villain, like the victim. There you go. Couldn't, I don't want villain.
He is the villain.
Facts. So
Um,
Frankie, if you're watching this, you're an op. Anyway, um, so we had to drive back to New York. So our whole first week was
chaos.
wild. So then we come down and we think we have alone time. Then my mom comes down and my
Yeah.
sister, which I
Plus,
wasn't upset about.
we had such a huge fight going down to New York.
You know,
We had such a huge fight, and then so like
it was just everything was so chaotic and
yeah,
stressful, and it was like the first time where I was like, "Fuck." Like I'm over this. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's really when it was like, yo, my family ain't shit. But then
But now,
after that, it was great. I mean, mom
yeah.
came down, Brittany came down, and then for my graduation, they surprised me with my mom, my
Okay,
dad, my
first of all,
sister,
let's
and
start this
grandma.
conversation. Brittany? Okay. Brittany, me and Brittany had a conversation in my kitchen. Literally, when his mom and her came down, they wanted to see the apartment. They cooked, they stocked our fridge, they did a lot for us. So
Preach.
thank you. We really do appreciate that, especially starting out. It was really stressful.
We
Um,
had nothing in the fridge the
literally
first
nothing.
like 2 weeks.
Yeah, we like had like bananas, chicken salad, bread,
We were living off of
uh,
scrapes,
yeah,
like
like
the bare
grapes.
minimum.
Yeah, like we literally had nothing. And then they came down, they like fully stocked our fridge. Plus they like made home cooked meals and then we
It was
froze
nice.
it and we like ate it later.
For
So
me,
it
that
was
was so nice because at that point, I was just making meal prep. Like I was only eating
yeah.
chicken. Like I was like, fuck. Like it's so nice to have a home cooked meal.
Yeah. So they cooked a lot and they did a lot, so thank you. But me and Brittany literally had a conversation. Literally had a conversation about how she would hate if people like surprised her with a bunch of people at her front door. And I was like, yeah, if anyone ever did that to me, I'd be so mad. Well, they did it to me. For his graduation, his mom was like, yeah, I'm going to come drive out there and I want to see it. But we thought it was just going to be her mom, his mom. So I, being the way that I am, was like, "Ugh, it's just his mom. Like, I don't feel like deep cleaning the apartment. Well, thank God I deep cleaned because not only did his mom come, his sister came, his grandma came, and his dad came. And then the next day, his uncle and his aunt came. But meanwhile, Brittany knew I would have hated for everyone to come and bombard me, but it was okay. It ended up being a really fun time, actually. They all stayed at the apartment. So the first night, it was just his mom that was here, and then the second night, everyone stayed. So his uncle and his aunt stayed over, and they left super early that morning. And then we had, I think, 2 days with his family, like in total, and it was super cool. We like played outside in the guest area. We did cornhole. And we just like hung out and had a great time, and it was super fun. But don't ever surprise me again because I hated it at first. I like to be prepared for things. Yeah, so it was actually really good. It was super fun. Um, yeah, I took the hand towel out of the bathroom because it was dirty. But now everything's cool. I love it here. I love living by ourselves. It kind of still feels like we're children though. Like I feel like I'm all giddy because like oh, I get to go home by myself, you know? Like I feel like a child, but it's super fun. 10 out of 10 would recommend. 5 star. Um but yeah, I think
I think just hearing from what you're talking about, I think the weird thing is that, like out here, like being by ourselves, the holidays didn't feel like the holidays.
yeah.
Like I mean, I was blessed like with Ty to be able to go drive out to him. Shout out Ty.
Yeah. I think the holidays stopped becoming the holidays because we were so predisposed to it being like all about gifts.
Yeah, so like just like the first year was not about gifts. It was like genuinely spending time with each other. Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I feel like growing up, you just always like immediately thought about the gifts. Um, and I was always the person that was like, I don't really care what I get. Like, I'd be happy with a pair of fuzzy socks.
What's just going on right now?
Yeah, like I don't really care. But I feel like having so many people around you on the holiday just exchanging gifts, like and doing gifts, and it's just always about the gifts. It's not really about like who comes, who goes.
Yeah.
And like this was the first year that it was like, damn, like I just wish I had my family. You know, like
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of like happy with that because I'm not really like a big holiday person. Like you know what I mean? Like it's cool, and I think it should all be about family and spending time with each other and not about gifts. So it was
mhm.
really nice to kind of just like I mean, we literally went to IHOP for breakfast on Christmas and
Yeah,
we
which
chilled. We
we
watched Elf. Like you know what I mean? Like we hung out. As if you
uh
make sure you go to Lift and Love Reacts
Oh
on
yeah, we did
YouTube
reacts,
and watch our Christmas Day vlog. We vlogged the whole thing, but
which I'm sleeping in.
um, so I don't know. I mean, the whole experience for me has been awesome. I think now it's 10 times better because now I'm on shift, so now I
Yeah,
have like some sort of schedule. So I work 24/48, engine two, co gang gang. Um, um, so it's definitely cool. Like I work a one full day and then I'm off too, which is really nice. I mean, work's definitely stressful because like it's hard to sleep and you got calls, you're running doing stuff and training and working out and stuff like that. So you like I'm tired, but it's just definitely nice to have like a
I'm tired.
schedule. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I feel it.
I mean, so far
I
everything's been great. Like I definitely wouldn't even want to move back or even consider moving back to New York at this point. Like I wouldn't even
honestly, I
consider
feel
it.
like I've considered it more than he has, only because, like, I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's
I just,
because you were so close with your family, and now that they're not there, it's different. Like for me, like my family hasn't been close since Grandma Nancy passed away. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
And it's not even
so
like I
it's
was
different.
close with my like actual family. It's like my stepmom's family. Like I'm super close with
But you also got to remember,
Jen and
like all
Gina.
the kids are growing up, so you know what I mean. Like it's different. Like being in a house with kids and
Like
having kids around is totally different.
my mom moved to California when we were 10. I lived there for 2 years. Then I ended up moving back with my dad and my middle brother, Carlos. Um, and like my mom, obviously, like she remarried, she had more kids, and I never got to see them grow up. So it forms a different relationship. Like obviously, I still love them. Obviously, I'm close with them, but watching my sister and all the kids in my household grow up, like I feel like they're older now and I'm not getting the chance to like actually be there for them
Yeah,
when I've always wanted them to just be grown already, to have like adult conversations and like my sister to be like, "So, I talked to this boy." Like I just wanted that. And I never had that. So I wanted that and now that I've moved away, I feel like I'm never going to get it. But I'll get it when we have kids someday.
yeah, one
But
day.
it just sucks because I don't know. I wanted to be there for at least one of my siblings growing up, but
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough, but I feel like we moved out at the right time. We moved out to better ourselves. Like
yeah,
you know, I don't know.
it's definitely
Everything calls
cool.
for full circle. It's
I mean,
weird. It's weird living on your own.
yeah, I mean, I definitely love it here. Um, I don't know. I like the quietness. I'm not like opposed to it. I definitely wish
More
there's a little
naps.
bit. Yeah, I wish definitely there's a little bit more chaos, which is why we should get a puppy.
She's been on this puppy kick for
Just
like
because
2 or 3 months now.
a little puppy.
I just
Um,
don't think we could like. Oh my God, you know how much the puppy would destroy?
well, yeah,
Everything.
but we already know we're not getting our deposit back anyways from the amount of holes that we put in here.
Excuse me. That's true.
So,
I'm exhausted. I got a shift tomorrow.
yeah,
You're off.
I can just sleep in tomorrow.
So yeah, I mean, to rate the whole experience overall, I think it's definitely been dope. Sorry, we went on like a little bit of a soapbox with the whole
Yeah,
my
it was
cousin
just a
story.
lot of drama, a lot of chaos.
But after
Moving
that,
is
it's been great. It was great after that.
stressful. Moving is stressful. And I had to say goodbye to my Staples family. Shout out to Patchogue Staples. Go there if you need help because they're the best Staples on Long Island. And I hold
Facts.
that with my whole heart.
I think for me overall, the hardest part of moving was
Saying goodbye to everybody.
saying goodbye and packing up your whole life. Like it was so crazy to pack up my whole life and be like, damn, like finding my old yearbooks and
Hmm.
finding like stuff I didn't even remember I
He's more
had.
sentimental than me. Like he'll hold ID cards from schools he went
Three
to.
one
He'll
zero two one five. That was my fucking ID number in high school.
Yeah, like he is way more sentimental than me. So like, I feel like it was definitely harder for him to say goodbye because he
Hmm.
lived there his whole life. Everything was in that house, and I mean, it definitely was hard for me to pack up my whole life of 10 years from that house. But I feel like it was a little bit more easier because I've done it before.
Yeah, that was my first time ever doing it. Like,
Um,
you know what I mean? Like, it like so 8 9 months or however long it is until we have to re up or move. I don't think if we had to move next upcoming year, I don't think it'd be hard for me.
Oh, for sure, because nothing's here.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would love to get a house, and I think that's like one thing I wanted to talk about to end the podcast. Like, I think that goal is to get a house, maybe stay here for another year after this year,
Hmm.
or maybe move to a nicer apartment.
I definitely want a nicer apartment.
Which is like it's more expensive, but like definitely a house is the goal, and
Yeah,
white picket fence and like that whole like shit you
American
see. Yeah, the
dream.
whole that shit you see on like a TV show or like a movie.
Except North Carolina doesn't have fences.
Very weird. Everything's open. It's kind of like the weirdest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Like,
I definitely want a fence though.
but it's kind of crazy too, because have you seen all these dogs out here that we've met?
Oh yeah,
They're like
dogs
trained.
literally. Yeah, they don't like. They'll go out in the front yard, and if they run away, they come back.
Not even that. They won't even like go past the fence line. It's like they know where it is, and they don't even have like those electric
The
collars on
imaginary
it.
fence
They
line.
they like go up to it and they're like, let's stop.
Yeah, they are trained. There's.
Super
Have
well.
you seen the dog at the end of the street? You know where you turn on the bumpy street,
Hmm.
the house on the corner. They have a dog that just sits in their front yard in the backyard. They don't have a fence. They're on a main road, by the way, but not a main road, but like a busy road. But they just hang out and sit. And the other day, actually, I was driving and the kids got off the school bus, and the dog was so happy to get the kids off the bus. But he literally just stays there in their yard, no fence, nothing, just hangs out.
So weird. I think it's just a different way of life out here, and I think that's the one thing that we've like been realizing is like it's a slower pace. It's different. People are just fucking nice.
Yeah,
Makes no fucking sense.
we should bleep all of our curse words out.
I'm probably not going to bleep my curse words out.
Oh, we'll bleep mine.
Why? You didn't really curse that much.
Oh, okay. But
This is me, man. I curse. And
we're New Yorkers.
face. I'm New Yorker.
People call us Yankees out here.
Yeah.
What does
Except
that
me,
even
I get called
mean?
the damn Yankee. What?
What does that even mean?
Yankee. Someone from the up north.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Huh. Yeah, they say Yankees. Huh, funny.
I mean, that's really it for our podcast. Wanted to give you the drama. Wanted to spill the tea with you.
But yeah, that's a
Overall, it's been a
closer
great
look.
experience. I don't regret it at all. I'm happy I was able to do it like you said with somebody, and I'm happy I'm able to do it with you.
Yeah.
You've definitely made it a lot of fun, and I hope the next couple months will be amazing
Yeah.
and fun.
I think
And
also now it's definitely more easier because we both got a schedule. Like, I have a routine with my job. I've made a couple of friends. You made a couple of friends. Like, it's starting to feel more homier
yeah,
the longer that we live here. But it's definitely still quiet. Like, the puppy will add some noise into my life
we're
that,
not getting a puppy.
yeah, we have to. Next podcast, we just have a puppy.
Not having a puppy. We will not have a puppy
Stay tuned.
until we get a house or a newer apartment.
Honestly, we can get a puppy.
Mm-mm.
Why wouldn't we be able to get a puppy?
Because I want at least if we're gonna have a puppy, I want like a 2 bedroom so I can leave my studio shit in there. Because like that's just expensive to fix and replace. I'm good. I'm not having a puppy chew through my shit.
That's how you train the puppy.
No, you know how they train? They have to learn from their mistakes. Their mistakes gonna be biting something, messing it up, and now I have a couple $100 I have to repair something or replace something.
I mean, what's the difference between you breaking it and the puppy breaking it?
Well,
Because you break everything.
the problem is I'm not gonna chew through it.
I can see you sitting down there chewing through the wire.
So I
Yeah,
mean, that's really it, man. We moved and definitely excited with the move. I'm happy with the move. Everything that we thought was going to happen is starting to happen slowly.
yeah,
Honestly, the biggest problem with our move has been money. I wasn't making enough money when I was in recruit school or rookie school.
yeah.
Now,
And then I was unemployed for 2 months,
no,
which I
you.
loved, by the
It
way.
was
I
so nice, wasn't it?
love not working. I love not working. On my days off, I fully take advantage of it. But I mean, I do like my job. They are stressful days, but they're good people. So
Thanks. You lucked out where you're at.
I really did, and I didn't expect to find a job as like good as I found it. They're really cool people. They help me a lot. They teach me a lot. Especially being a new nurse, it's always good to have people who are willing to train you because a lot of old nurses like to eat their young. And you always have that one bully, but So far, so good. It's been good.
Yeah. So hopefully by the next podcast, this one should air in February. It should be February 1st. Actually, this podcast should air, which is so crazy that it's that far away.
Yeah.
But we're trying to make our content all in advance and give you guys the best that we can, and slowly we'll be upgrading our setup and doing crazy things. But listen, just stay tuned, support our channel and what we're doing, and I promise you, one day, man, we'll all make it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's
I
been
just
a
feel like this gives you a little bit more insight of like who we are, our personalities.
yeah,
We're not trying to fuck anyone over. Um, we're just trying to,
be ourselves and show the world.
yeah, be ourselves and make it in a hard, harsh world. It's cold outside for a pimp.
Yeah.
Wanna get the money for the rent. I always sing that song. Yeah.
But stay tuned because every week we're gonna be talking about something different, and
I don't know. What do you guys want to hear?
yeah, let us know what you guys want us to talk
Maybe
about, and
what was the second segment that we came up with before? I was like, maybe that should be a segment.
what I don't.
Well, good thing we recorded it.
Facts. We're gonna replay this
Imagine
or
you
add it.
got up and it wasn't even recording. Was it?
Babe, seriously, you didn't click record?
You're lying,
Nah,
obviously.
yeah.
That's your lying voice. Hold on.
um, but yeah, man, this has been another Lifting Love podcast, and I hope you guys like this new format. Let us know what you think, and even if you hate us, we're still gonna be doing it. So, um, so yeah, that's really it. I mean, anything else you want to add?
No, I'm tired. I'm gonna take a nap.
Me too. We can't take a nap. Let's make dinner, watch some Kaleidoscope, and then yo,
What time is
it's
it?
4 o'clock. I know, right? Yeah, make sure if you haven't, like, let us know what you thought of Kaleidoscope so far it's kind of a banger.
Yeah, it is good.
It's just weird how it's like everything's like not in order.
I like it,
We're
actually.
totally gonna make a Kaleidoscope podcast.
Maybe, yeah, just talk about it.
Just talk about it once we're done finishing it. Once we're done finishing it. Once
We're
we finish
watching.
it,
Once
whatever.
we're done watching it.
Yikes! I can't talk today, so I man, but we love y'all. We hope you have a great day, and this has been another Lifting Love podcast. So you know what the deal is. As always, lift love, crush hate. We out.